Firestone Tires. Do you like them? Or do you not like them? You know, people have their kind of favorite tire manufacturers. Firestone is not one of mine. You know, maybe it's because, you know, there's two instances I think of when growing up. One was the Ford Explorer incident with the Firestone tires that, you know, I think they're having blowouts and rolling over with the factory Firestone tires. And then two was the, you know, early 2000s Chevy Suburbans that came with the Firestone Wilderness tires that were blowing out. My parents had one of those Suburbans, and it lost a tire, and, you know, it lost the tire before we knew about the issue. And so, you know, bought another Firestone Wilderness to match the other three, and then ended up recalling them. And I think they reimbursed us for the one we had purchased. I can't remember, maybe not. I know we ended up getting 4 new tires as kind of like a, did we? Or did we just replace them because it came out and we were scared of them? I can't remember. Anyway, I'm not a fan of Firestone tires. I bought these 2 tires new. When we bought this Sienna, it had 4 Firestone tires on it, good tread, and one of them, a little while later, we got a puncture in it, and it was close to the sidewall, and I took it to a tire shop I go to. It's one guy. He's got another guy that's sometimes there, but it's not a chain. It's just a local guy I like to support. And took it to him. He took a look at it and said, it looks too close to the sidewall. I don't think I'm gonna be able to patch it. So I said, okay, let me just order a tire. So I ordered on Amazon a tire to match, and it was one of these. And so when I took it down there to get it mounted, he pulled that tire off and he said, you know what, I think I can patch it. He said you know, the way it went in the tire, it was real close to the sidewall, but it didn't go in like this. It kind of went in like that. And so where it stuck in on the inside of the tire was further away from the sidewall. So he patched it, and, you know, it was fine. Never had an issue with that tire. So when it came time, we needed 2 tires, and so I had 1 brand new tire, you know, that I bought from Amazon. So I just went ahead and just bought another Firestone to match it, and we put 2 Firestones on it and 2 Generals. These have really good reviews. They've been on here a while. And I kind of wanted to burn up the Firestones quickly and just buy 2 more Generals. So I didn't rotate them. I just threw the 2 new Firestones on the front. They've been on the front the whole time. You know, on a front wheel drive vehicle, your front tires, you could get a ton of miles on rear tires, but the front tires, you know, front's going to do most of the braking, and then the front is going to do the accelerating. So the back tires are just trailing along for the ride, you know, with some braking. But so I left these on the front to use them up quickly so I could buy 2 new Generals. I don't like mismatching tires. I'm just weird like that. I like everything to be the same, and it bugs me when I look at a vehicle, or when I see one of my vehicles and I've got, you know, different tires on the front or different tires on the rear. I don't know. I guess it's a weird OCD thing for me or something. I don't know. But so I threw these on the front to use them up. Ordered 2 new Generals the other day because these are now worn and they need to be replaced. But when I pulled them off, this one, I don't know if you can see that, the inside of the sidewall's got a huge bulge on it, and I think this tire wouldn't have lasted much longer. And these tires have never had any plugs in them, nothing. You know, we've never hit anything, we've never done anything. It's on the inside. This is on the inside, so, you know, if you bump up against a curb or something, that's going to be on the outside of the tire. This has never had anything done to it. And let's look at the date code. I don't remember if this is the first one I bought or the one I bought a little bit later, but it's the one I bought first, sat in the garage for a while. So 32 of 17. So it's basically almost a 2-year-old tire. So, you know, it's not that old. It's got a little bit of tread left. The front end's wearing them a little bit. They're done. They're done on the outside, but you know, and that's what you get when you don't rotate them. But that tire has this big bulge, and it's not a seam. You know, sometimes you get seams on them that have a little bit of a bulge. It is not a seam. You take a look at this one, it's got no such bulge. And look at the weather cracking that's starting on these. I guess that's nothing to, I mean, you can kind of see they're starting to weather crack a little bit. Again, that's on the outside. This one's the first one I bought, but this one sat in my garage away from sunlight or anything like that. So it's 3 years old. So, I mean, they run the car the same amount of time. So nothing to, really no difference in them. But yeah, I'm disappointed in that. I did not like seeing that. This one, it may have lasted, but that's definitely a spot. There's a puncture or something, and that is air. You can feel it. It's mushy. That is a air pocket, you know, between the layers of the rubber on the tire. So, like I said, I've never been a Firestone fan, and that's another thing against them for me. And I haven't had a lot of issues with tires, except old tires, you know. But Firestone, I don't know, not a fan. And I remember when we looked at this Sienna and I saw Firestones on it, I was like, oh, Firestones. And I can't stand the Firestone shops. You know, to me, they are just out, and I guess a lot of the shops are just out for money. But I had bought some Primewell tires for the 4Runner a long time ago, and Primewell, I think, is a low grade. I don't know if it's manufactured by Firestone or Firestone just sells it. I didn't have any issues with those tires. Those were fine. I bought them because I needed some cheap tires, and they had one of those buy 3 get 1 free sales, and it ended up being the cheapest deal. Of course, I bought it without road hazard or anything because I normally don't buy that stuff. And I had a plug in one of the tires, or I had a screw in one of the tires. So I took it to Firestone, and they said, hey, you know, I said, hey, can I get this fixed? They said, oh, you don't have road hazard. And I was like, well, you don't even fix flats? I mean, road hazard to me means, you know, yeah, I get it, but I guess I can see what they're saying. But it was like $25 or $30 they wanted to put a patch on that tire. Train. And so I took it to, I was like, no thank you, and took it to a you know, mom and pop place and you know, paid $10 or whatever to get it patched. But just not a fan. Anyway, I'm rambling. Let me know what you think about Firestone tires. If you had any issues with them, this is not a, I don't have tons of experience with them, just a little bit, and I'm just not crazy about them. But we'll put those 2 Generals on here. They seem to be good tires. They got good reviews. I kind of looked up some reviews on what I could get and kind of price compared and shopped around and to see what was the best tire for the best amount of money. And I settled on these General
Altimax RT43s, and you know what, maybe I'll show you once I get the two front ones on.
And we're gonna run the new ones on the front for a little bit, and then we'll rotate them around. Since these got more wear, we'll get the front ones, the new front ones, some wear on them, and then rotate them around. It's actually been probably over a month since the last part of this video. Just haven't gotten around to do this, but there's the other tires put on. Look great, they work great. At some point I'll rotate the tires, probably about another month. I'll rotate them and put the ones in the back, the older ones in the back up front. But I kind of wanted to get them to even wear and then start regularly rotating them. And real quickly, I thought of another instance with Firestone tires that I had that kind of gave me a bad taste about them. Back when I had a 2000 GMC 3/4 ton pickup, and church gave me a set of tires off their church van, and they had bought them because, you know, they were getting older. They were, I want to think they're about 7 or 8 years old, which that definitely is getting old. They had great tread. The van had always been garaged. You know, they had like a garage for it, so they weren't dry rotted or anything. They looked great, but you know, they were getting older, so they bought new tires. And so I got them, and I got a whole set of them, and I put 2 of them on and used them for a while, and one of them came apart, and so I just put another one on, and then one of the other ones came apart. So I had 2 of those tires come apart, and like I said, they were like 7 or 8 years old, so they were definitely older. But like I said, they were not dry rotted. They were load range E tires. They were, you know, beefy tires, and had, you know, 75% tread on them. And you know, I've used other tires that have been 10 years old and never had an issue, but you know, that kind of they came apart on the inside. You know, the tread didn't come off. They separated on the inside, you know, with the big bulge in the tire where it was coming apart. And you know, after 2 of those went bad, I said no more, and I bought 2 new tires. So that's it. I thought of that story, and you know, that's my experience. And thanks for watching. Leave a comment down below, hit the like button, and subscribe for more.